Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's gonna get good. It's gonna get good. We're gonna spend time together. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna educate. We're gonna do what matters. We're gonna have a good time with it. But needless to say, I'm Jordan Stevenson. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all the good stuff. Today, first day, I'm gonna just fill you in on what's been going on. The basis of this is just to get close with you. Relationship, yeah? So fill you in on what's going on, about this workout. Light, it's been a minute since I really been in my intense training. So we'll fill you in on that when we get there, when the time comes. But light workout, a little bit of cardio, a little bit of weights, and then we're gonna have a sit down and chop it up. Let's get to it. So, just walked 5 minutes, jogged 5 minutes, and now I'm gonna walk another 10, just to cool down, catch my breath. Jog 5 minutes, that's not to get in shape. That's just to get warmed up. But an intense warm up, you know. You can warm up, just stretch, do a few of these. Call that, you could go on the treadmill and jog. But like I was saying before, as far as intense training, I'm talking like 6 days a week, balls to the wall. No letting in. It's maybe been 3-4 weeks since I've been light, which is the longest I've gone without training as such. So it's very humbling in the sense of you come back in to go hard, and your body's like, nah, chill out. So I gotta work back to it. So that 5-minute jog got me. Boom, I'm tired. But we got an agenda for the workout. We got a plan, so we're gonna finish. But yeah, and the reasoning that I haven't been on the training like pop. I just moved, just got a new place. So that comes with getting this, getting that, getting this done, getting that done. And it's the timing. But what's ironic is, for the most part, everything is set in play. And January 1st is in a few days. So, new year, new start, new program, back on the wave. Intense training. And beforehand, I was also doing 2 days a week. Now, most people not training, 2 days a day, 2 workouts a day, my bad. Most people not training twice a day. But when you do so, you can feel a difference with your physical fitness. I do core and cardio one workout, and then lift weights another. And for sure, getting back on that wave, it just keeps you sharp, because you got a workout coming up, 1, and 2, just feel good, moving all day. So, yeah, gonna wrap up this cool down, and then talk to y'all in the weight room. I'm gonna break down my whole thought process on how I'm training, so stay with me. It's gonna get a little Rambo, but stay with me. So, training has not been the most consistent, right? It's been on and off. So, for the sake of starting the new program come January 1st, I just outlined what the next few days is gonna look like. So, started yesterday, today, and then Saturday, I'm gonna train hard. Sunday, I'm gonna rest, and then get ready for Monday. So, yesterday I did legs, cardio and legs. Today, cardio and back, so a lot of pulling. barbell bent over rows, pull-ups, and reverse flies. 3 lifts, but it's about as you know, it's about the intensity of the lifts. You don't need to do 6 different exercises and 6 sets per exercise. Get your 3 main lifts in that's gonna hit the spots you need to hit. And then after that, just lift with intensity. But back today and then tomorrow push, a little bit of chest and shoulders. And then, like I said, Sunday rest, and then Monday, smacking legs. Like, I'm trying to cripple myself, so no offense to the crippled ones. You know how they be sensitive nowadays. Nah. So we can hit some rows. I'll probably warm up with this one, and then hit like 3 working sets, a little bit more weight, and then next exercise. Let's rock. So, away from training, because I moved. Now let me tell you, most chaotic moments in, I'll say, my life, just because it's like, I don't know, moving it's a lot. You know, you get into an empty house and then you realize you need way more stuff than you intended. You know, luckily, it is a home. You know, everything is there, but it takes time. It took time. Oh, I was tired. But I have to salute myself. I'm not gonna just boast, but on the simple fact of I was able to do both. I was still able to get my workouts in, not as intense, of course, workout, clients, and still manage to move. And like I said, New Year's is in a few more days, and everything is finally kind of just, boom, leveled back out. Level, homeostasis, back to balance. So that's a plus. Everything is set in stone now. New beginnings, I hope it's the same for you, my friend, for sure. Last lift, let's get it. Same thing, feet shoulder width apart, knuckles forward, boom, hips back, 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 tuck your chin. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy. Next, we're gonna smack some reverse flies, and it's good. The client, shout out Jamil, really put me on. So when I first, I'm like you. Well, I don't know who you are, but I'm like you in the sense of when I first heard metal, heavy metal, I'm like, bro, like I can't, like why do people listen to this? This is crazy. This is chaotic. This is insane. Why? Put something up. Why? It hurts. However, when we be training, me and my client Jamil, my boy, like shout out Jamil, you juice, you the dog, man. But he'll play metal, and at first it's kind of like, all right, I gotta rock with him because that's my client, let's get him hyped. But then you really start to learn the music, and after you learn the music, you learn the instruments, and then you learn the rhythm, and then you find a groove to it. It's just a different groove. Like most people used to 1, 2, 1, 2. Metal is like bada, 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 and then it switch real quick and then go back, and it's crazy. But I say this, look, this is what I'm on right now. That's for sure 100% metal. This is my second day working out to some metal. It's exactly what you're looking for. Because what'll happen is while you're working out, you'll either leave your music playing the whole time or you'll take it off and put it on as you hit your sets. So if you put the headphones on and it's already somebody, you're gonna be like, okay, let's do it. It's cold. Anyways, I digress. Check it out. I'll say Kill Switch Engage, End of Heartache. That song is crazy. The vocals, and it's a black man. Exactly. Next, pull-ups, 3 sets till failure, and we done. Now I'll say this is by far the best back exercise. Not my favorite because it sucks, but I notice a significant amount of gains when I'm hitting my pull-ups consistently and when I'm not. So hit your pull-ups, my guy. Okay, so for the sake of the video and the thirst trap, I'm gonna give you 1 set with my shirt off, okay? Before I do, let me admit to my insecurities, okay? I mean, I don't really care, but 1, when I say in these last few weeks, I lost like, I'll say 13 to 15 pounds. So I'm gonna look skinny, that's 1, 2. But don't even judge me because I got a back scrubber at Target, so I've been washing my back. But before, you know, it's too hard to reach, so you don't even mind it. So you get some acne. People be like, oh, that's steroids. No, bruh, stop. It was 1 time. Nah, I just play. Don't clip that. Nah, but no, never touch the roids. But got the back acne. But like I said, I've been scrubbing it. But I just did this just now. I have not been able to reach that far on my back, but that tells you I lost it. All right, we got 3 sets till failure. It's cakewalk, at least 20 right now. Woo! That's it, that's good. Now it's easier, because like I said, I lost some weight, so it's easy to move up on that bar. But when you scratching around 200 pounds, 10 is like, damn. So, no more thirst trapping for y'all. No more. We'll say that for the Patreon. I'm done. I'm fried. Thank y'all for tuning in to the workout. I will catch y'all upstairs, and we're gonna chop it up a little bit. We're gonna talk. Peace. So, like I said, just got a new place. Take a quick peek. So I'm gonna get down. I'm about to sit there and chop it up with y'all. So, first things first, let me get some coffee. Coffee after my workout was one of the highlights of my day. And we wasting water. And we making a mess. That's not good. Anyways, it's like one of the highlights because, I don't know, after you drink coffee for so long, so many times, you find yourself hooked on it. So, yeah. What kind of coffee? I learned from the best. Shout out my people's mind. But Four Sigmatic, it's not as much caffeine as like other coffees, but quality and the benefits are much better than other coffees. But what I find kind of fun is like I'll drink this coffee so many times, and then I go have like a cold brew at Starbucks. I had one yesterday actually, and it's so much more caffeine, and I'm so much more jittery. I think jittery is a word. Anyways, with the coffee, and then we're gonna talk about this book a little bit, talk about what we got planned for this time to come. And yeah, rap with y'all a little bit. We're gonna call this episode 1 of Real Talk with Real Jordan, right? And the title's gonna be I'm Human Too. And we're gonna get into that. So I'll catch y'all when we sit down and we ready to go. Got the coffee, phone right there if I need it, don't need it. Yeah, man. So we finally sitting down to chop it up. So we'll go ahead and Real Talk with Real Jordan. That's been like a thing that I've been wanting to do for so long, for years. And just like sit down, chop it up. Like I said, it's a matter of giving game, because we give and take game. It's a give and take world, but at the same time, entertainment. So like I said, yeah, we got the workout video. That's just like, it's the first one. It's what people are expecting of me in the sense of the fitness will grab your attention, and then from there I do and show what I want. So something I'm super passionate about is just like self-development, but not in the sense of like this whole wave of everybody who wants to be a self-development teacher and things like that. No, it's passionate in the sense of like I'm always willing to see how I can do better for myself, and it's something to where when you find that rhythm to develop, it's a rhythm. You know, once you find that rhythm, it's fun. So shout out to Dawn. You know, she gifted me this book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. And she was saying how like, she takes this book everywhere with her and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, it must be a good book. Like, she gifted it to me and it was just sitting there. And then I finally just cracked it open and read it one day. And I would say, and it's by Florence Shin, Shin. This book is like a staple. It just reminds you of like, where should your attitude, where should your mental, where should your morals be, where should your thought process be day to day, in the sense of the most basic. Because you have these books like, I don't know, 48 Laws of Power, Think and Grow Rich, all these very powerful self-development books, but they'll give you like a specific skill or point you in a specific direction, versus this one is like, what's the basis of all of this? So to stretch into that and talk more directly about the book, it will talk a lot about God. It'll pull stuff from like the Bible at times. But what I like most about this author is because the concept of God and religion will get its own stigma. Like people hear that word and then their mind and thought process changes, because it's like everybody has their own idea. But something that Florence Shin, that's a guy or girl? A girl. Something she points out in this book is like, you can swap out, I think it might have been like the word God or something for law in some of these scriptures, and it'll kind of change the way it sounds, hence change the way you think about it, and so on and so forth. So the biggest takeaway is simply that there is for most people and for some, and even if there's not, there's a God, or there's a law, or there's a power. There's something that you should, I'll say, obey. And I've talked about this before. Like, there's right and wrong, okay? And if you do wrong, you know you'll get wrong from it. Like, you do wrong enough, you go to jail. You do wrong enough, you die. But then there's right, and you know if you do enough right, you can live your best life ever. And this hits that to a T, and it tells you this is probably wrong, this is probably right. And the best part about it, hitting those topics, is it's more so, it's not materialistic. It's not for you to gain anything. It's for you to live your best life. But then what comes from you living your best life is, your best life in the sense of you being a good person is the things you want in life, and that's the materialistic and things, so on and so forth. So a few key points in here. We'll rap about them, we'll chop it up, and then I'll give you some info on what it is I have planned for this, for you, for myself. I think this will be it'll be its most fun if I let you in, and I'm gonna let you in, so be ready for that. And yeah, let's get to it. First one I want to talk about, without a doubt, all these chapters she has is like, it's called the law of this and the law of that and the law of this. My end all be all favorite chapter is not the law of blank, it's not the law of anything, it's just simply titled love. Why this chapter is very touching is not, it has nothing to do with like the sense of love, but she tells you how you should move amongst people and amongst life. So let me take a sip of coffee and we're gonna dive in, man. hot. Burn my tongue. All right. So, I'll just read first, and then we'll branch off. We'll talk about it. So it goes, this is like the second paragraph. Real love is selfless and free from fear. It pours itself out upon the object of its affection without demanding any return. Its joy is in the joy of giving. Boom. Its joy is in the joy of giving, without demanding any return. So why that, to me, it was, all right, so picture this. Little Jordan, maybe like, how old was I? Maybe like 10, yeah. Something like that. Anyways, Lil Jordan, right? Just started playing baseball, and I'm playing catch. This is such like a cliche story. I'm playing catch with my dad in the street. And I used to always overthrow the ball or like throw the ball way over there. But I'm a kid, so that happens every now and then. And it'll like roll into the sewer. He'd be like, fuck, man. What's up, Jordan? Why you do that? And, sorry, Dad. Anyways, so I'm playing catch with my dad, and then the ball was overthrown. So he went to go get the ball. Typically, he had me go get the ball after I overthrow it, but this time he went to go get it. Anyways, and the car drove by, and it was a man in a truck. He drove by, and I waved, and he just looked at me. It happens. Like, you might wave at somebody, you don't always get a wave back. He waved at me. I waved at him. He didn't wave back. He just kept driving. I was like, yeah, like, I waved at him. He didn't wave back. He's like, well, you're not supposed to wave at him for a wave back. You just wave at him because that's genuinely what you want to do and what you want to express, right? So this whole concept of love, first of all, she also covers how, you should, and even in the Bible, and using the Bible for a sense of direction, not religion. The Bible is, you should just love thy neighbor. And if I go to the grocery store and the person I stand next to, right then and there, at the present moment, that's my neighbor. And if you stay in present, so everybody around you're supposed to love. So if that's the case and love is selfless, then you should just love because, it's the right thing to do. But don't expect anything back out of it. Just do it because that's genuinely what you want to do. Now, if you genuinely don't want to do that, you got some stuff going on inside that you got to work on. Needless to say, it comes off differently when you're a helping hand, and you're not expecting anything out of it versus helping because you'll get paid, or helping because they'll praise you afterwards, or you helping because whatever the case may be. But because you're doing something, out of the kindness of your heart, basis, that'll change this whole world. That'll change this whole concept and all these other issues we got going on. That's very major, meaning like that's a big thing, but a very simple thing to do. And if we did a lot of it, hey, things will be different. So that's my cue to you. We're not going to dwell. I'm not going to lecture. We're going to go to the next one. This next chapter is casting the burden, right? So this concept to me, and all of these concepts in this book are very significant to me because I live by them in the sense of before I read the book, she just put them into words for me. So I was already the type of person to just give my hand because I want this other person to be the most happy person they could be, So that's one, casting the burden. While this one is significant because my pants will be lit on fire, my jacket will be lit on fire, and I'm the type of person to, after the fire goes out and I'm not worried about my life anymore, I'm gonna just shrug my shoulders and just go on to the next thing. A lot of times, and where success comes from, where achieving your goals and all these things come from is your focus, right? So if your focus is on what you don't have, or your focus is where you're stuck at, or your focus is drama, if your focus is playing a video game, if your focus is on something else besides the best life ever for yourself, what you want out of life, if your focus isn't on you being a great family man, or if your focus isn't you being a successful businessman or a woman or whatever, if your focus is elsewhere, you're gonna get that, right? So a lot of times people focus on their problems. I'm too fat. I'm not making enough money. Living check to check is by far, to me, the largest burden somebody can have, because it's hard to not think about that. It's hard to not think about the struggle of money when money is the struggle. But this whole concept in this chapter of casting the burden basically says, like, okay, so if we switch out the word God for law or whatever it is you want to, but given that heavy weight that's keeping you still or stagnant, give it away. Don't hold that weight. So I say it's personal to me, because for the longest I've realized, like, there's no reason for me to stress about it. Like, it's not gonna do me any good. Let's just dance, sing a song, let's do something fun. But if I ever sit in something, which I'm human, I do, of course. When I sit in something, I just notice I feel heavier. It's not ironic, but like, pay attention to it. When you're in a down mood, your chin is lower, shoulders are more dry. It's like, so it goes much deeper. Like, you can't sit and let a burden just hang on to you, or you can't, because it'll drag you down. It'll pull back from your progress, and because that's what your focus is on, that's what your results will be. Versus, so the concept of casting the burden is, so you give this burden away, you focus on what you want to focus on, whether that be your goals, your vision, whatever it may be, so you can get the result of that. So if I was to wake up every day and live check to check, and just be so worried about it, where's my next meal, where's my next dollar, whatever, it'll be that day after day. But if I can cast that burden and say, you know what, I've always had a meal. There's been times where I've been scared. There's been times where I'm like, what's next? Like, literally, what's next? And I was like, you know what? That's not gonna do me any good. Like, let me give this on to, boom. Let me push that away. I can't worry about that no more. But you know what? I want a crib with a TV, a couch, nice carpet, full kitchen, like, to where it's like, okay, I could focus on this. And then all of a sudden your chin comes higher, your shoulders come back. And even though you don't have it right now, it's this, you've thought about this for so long, and it's like, okay, what do I need to do to get that? Versus me sitting here still check to check, boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, bop. Nah, you're brighter. So then you get the result of what you're focusing on. It may take time, it's going to take time, and it's going to take hassle, but shift that focus, cast your burden. So specific quote, here it goes. So it's not the direct quote, but she says, I've shown in previous chapters how the line of lack disappeared when the individual spent money fearlessly, showing faith that God was his supply and therefore unfailing. So that's basically saying how, say there's this lack of money or lack of love or lack of health or whatever it may be, instead of shying away from it, letting that be your burden, like, fearlessly, it does not, like, leave that alone. It's not catching your attention. You're not worried about that. Boom. And all of a sudden, there's more room for something else to fall in this life. Something else will fall in. You're not just gonna have empty space. Boom. That's two. We're gonna wrap one more, and that's that. So this ties back to the first thing I said. The very first thing in this simple is, like, in life, there's right and there's wrong. You can obey right or you can obey wrong, and you will get whatever you give. So the concept, I'm gonna just get straight into the quote. This is by far my favorite quote in this book, right? So it goes, the more man knows, the more he is responsible for it. And the person with knowledge of spiritual law, which he does not practice, suffers greatly in consequence. Meaning, if you know right, but you didn't do right, you will suffer greatly. If you know wrong and you did wrong, you will say, if you know, and the thing is, we know. So, health and fitness, we big on health and fitness. So, you know you shouldn't eat that, but you ate that, you're gonna pay. And that could be 2 years down the line, now you're 10 pounds heavier, or you can pay you up late night in bed, tossing and turning because you know you should not have just ate that whole cake. Like, it weighs out, and there's significance depending on how important the situation is. But at the end of the day, if you know right, you didn't do right, you're gonna pay the consequence. If you know wrong, and you did. So that's saying that to say, like, it doesn't matter what chapter, it doesn't matter what paragraph, it doesn't matter. The concept and the end all be all is just do right. Do right by yourself, do right by your family, do right by your friends, do right by your work, do right about your health and fitness, do right about all things, and you will reap the benefits. Now, if you just moving without judging things right or wrong, reevaluate, because if you're on and not everybody is, and that's okay, but if you're on a life path where you're really trying to go up, almost every decision you make, you have to weigh, is this significant enough for me to be doing, or is this not? Is this holding me back, or is this pushing me forward? Is it, weigh these things out, and if you continue to just make the right decision over and over and over, you're human. It will not be perfect, 100%, but you can put the odds in your favor and try to just one step forward, one foot in front of the other. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not trying to lecture, but I did Game of Life and how to play it. 10 out of 10, this is my staple. Next week we'll do another book. Now, as far as I go, we got some stuff. First and foremost, I'm gonna be cooking. Okay, your boy know how to throw down, so we're gonna wrap that up. Workouts, more workouts for sure. Some with the homies now. Like I said, this was just the first one before the new year. Had to introduce myself. You can call me Jordan. You can call me Jay Smooth. You can call me Jay Boog. You can call me Handsome. Whatever you want to call me. Yeah. So, but yeah, this is like an entertainment, education, and all things of such. Real talk with Real Jordan, man. And the reason I say I'm gonna call this one I'm Human Too. Oh, let me explain that. Okay, so most people know me from Instagram. That's where I've built my clients and things of such. So that's only Instagram. That's only pictures and videos of me. Now I can say, like, I've called myself Real Jordan, because what you see is what you get, of course. But you have to understand that I'm human just as you, okay? Meaning, I can sit here and tell you these things, but then once this camera's off, every day I still have to make decisions. I still have to have a certain thought process. I still have to think for myself. And as every other person that's influential to you, rappers, singers, speakers, whatever it may be, it's like you see them for so long, but after that, they're human too. They're dealing with things, they're thinking, and the best advice I have for you, and honestly, this is why I picked this book, is because the best advice I have for you is to find a base, find a place where you can just function. I'm not gonna say at your best. You should always try to achieve your best, but a base where you can function your most efficient, right? I call it homeostasis, right? And whenever you lose sense of homeostasis, it's one of two things. Either one, you've overwhelmed yourself with too much and you're trying to deal with this and that and this and that, so you need to slow down, or you've gone backwards and you're functioning way too slow for your brain to even pick up something, to do something, or to achieve something. So find a place of homeostasis, find that balance, and then from there, achieve that. Make your bed, have a good breakfast, work out, boom. And then after that, read a book before bed. Just start reading a book. Okay, cool. And after that, let me listen to an audio also every day. And after, so on and so forth. But you have to find that base first. And like I said, that's why I picked the Game of Life and how to play it for the first episode, just because when I needed to find that base again, I went back to this book, because it has all these concepts that just kind of stir you back into place. And that is, I'm human too. At times I need that balance. I need that homeostasis. And once I find it, boom, you can do that same exact thing. If you're overwhelmed and you're doing too much and you can't catch yourself, slow down. And if you're moving too slow, get your ass up on the bed. Needless to say, thank y'all for tuning in. Peace. Talk to you next week. Happy New Year. Yeah.